A big bad J-Flight 32 TSBH here at Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is a triple slide bunkhouse, as the TSBH indicates. This is in a sense just an expanded 32 BHDS, just with an extra slide here in the kitchen. Now the cool thing on the Jayco is you're still getting an outside kitchen over here, where on a lot of brands with triple slides you don't. There's a unique way they put their bunks together to make that happen. I'll show you when we get inside. Before we get too far along, I do want to mention there's a fair amount of optional equipment built onto this. We have an Elite package, we have a Glacier package, a bunch of different things. And I'm going to try to point out those things as we go, because not every 32 TSBH you see is going to be like this. Although the ones we carry here at Haylet's are probably going to be very darn similar. Not identical, maybe, but real darn close. So let's get dug in. #1 selling travel trailer since 2005 and counting. 10 straight years, undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of the world. That's the J-Flight. One of the big reasons, and there are a lot of reasons, a lot of little ones, but a lot of big reasons too. 2-year warranty. This is one of the very few trailers out there, especially in this class, that does have a true 2-year bumper to hitch warranty. Even includes first-year roadside assistance from CoachNet, which is awesome, by the way. They do a ton of stuff. God forbid you blow a tire and you're out of town or you run out of gas, they fix it. 24-hour hotline, and it's legit. It works. Power awning on here. Now, because this does not have a kitchen slide, you get more use of your patio space over here. Everything is a push and a pull, guys. Like the 33 RBTS J-Flight is a different triple slide bunkhouse. It has a kitchen slide here and only one slide in the bunkhouse. The kitchen slide might take from your patio space a little bit, but it gives you that interior kitchen and storage space that you're gonna love. So, you know, people, what camper is the best? Well, which camper is the best at what? That's the question, because they're all really cool at different things. That's the thing. Your power awning, by the way, is just a better grade. There's like, you know, 3000, 6000, 9000 series motors that you get from these manufacturers, like your awning, your tongue jack, stuff like that. Jayco just uses a better brand. It'll move faster, it's stronger, it'll last longer, it's more problem free. That's why I like these. That's why they have double the warranty. It's all that little stuff that adds up. Now, we have again added a thermal package to this one, and there's no true definition of what that means. Every manufacturer has open interpretation what a thermal package means. At Jayco, it means they not only enclose the underbelly. First of all, if you notice, the underbelly enclosure rests on top of the lip of that I-beam. It's actually sealed. It's not just screwed to the bottom of the I-beam. So this is better. But they also add a blanket of double-sided astrofoil here, which is a massive thermal barrier they use in the highest end of fifth wheels. They do that in the basement. They do that in the roof. They do that in the slide outs. And that's an area very few people actually insulate, is slide outs and travel trailers. And yet you get it here in a J-Flight with the thermal package, which is something we put on most of these big guys almost any time. Good rule of thumb at Haylet's, if you see the Elite package, it's got the thermal and vice versa. So we talked about the diamond plate. Now, you don't see them because we've already pulled them off, but this does have 30-pound tanks instead of 20s with a cover that has quick access, so you can get to your tank bottles and turn them on and off easier. Your frame on a Jayco is integrated. More on that later. Keep that in the back of your mind, and I'll hit on that more. Extended diamond plate. They wrap the diamond plate all the way down around that integrated A-frame. It looks cool, and it gives you better stone deflection. It gives you more protection on your frame from stones that could cause you know, chipping and stuff like that. Windows on the sides of the slide outs do open for ventilation. By the way, this big triple slide girl comes in 8,550 pounds, 8,550. So a newer half-ton should be fine. A little bit older, you may want to go to the realm of a 3/4, you know, if you're in that pre-2011 phase. But those vehicles are just from age becoming fewer and far between. Elite package is going to get us a black tank flush. They're always going to have an outside shower on this so you can hose off the kids and whatnot. Elite package also upgrades us to a fifth wheel suspension. And that may not be a fun thing to look at or talk about. Trust me, there's plenty more fun things to talk about. But that's a huge critical thing. Every single time you use this trailer, your suspension is involved. And it is eliminating a great deal of the torsional sway and twist and suspension, pardon me, stress that goes into your suspension and transmission and all kinds of stuff. It's a big deal, guys. Having a good suspension is a big deal, and it's something that's so easily overlooked because you just take it for granted. You don't know what you don't know most of the time. We all grew up with cars. We know about cars, at least on an intrinsic passive level. We got an idea. Like, I'm not a motorhead, but I know I gotta flush my transmission fluid now and then. Most people have no idea how to take care of a camper because we didn't grow up with them. We didn't watch mom and dad take care of a camper, most of us. Here's another thing that we like to add on here. On our big bunkhouses, we'll typically add that little receiver hitch so you can bring along a bike rack right there. That leaves your rear bumper wide open, you know, so you can move that spare tire around. And anytime you see this little bracket on the bumper, shouldn't have backed away so quick, you know that this thing's going to come with an outside grill. The bracket is the indicator of that, because the grill is probably going to be stowed away. See the ladder on the back, that's something we put on with the Elite package, and it gives you full access to your Magnum truss, fully walk-on plywood decked roof. It's the same roof structure they use on basically all their fifth wheels. So it's the same methodology as even on the Pinnacle. They start to swap out a wood truss for aluminum, but there's nothing, you should see the thickness of their trusses. It is a true walk-on roof, and I'm 200 some odd pounds. I have no problems up here. They've shifted their little mini fridge over in their outside kitchens as of the 2016 season, just to give us access to this extra little pocket over here. Now, the trick when the refrigerator is all the way against the wall is when the door opened, it could only open about that far. So people said, I'm having trouble opening my mini fridge. Well, they listened, guys. They moved it around exactly how you wanted to. Even outside, we have LED lights, and we have struts on our overhead doors so that you don't have to duck under them. Now, there is outlet right here so that you can put in a microwave if you're so inclined. We have not only the cooktop, but we at Haylets tend to add the rear bumper grill as well. And even in the outside kitchen, all of your drawers in a J-Flight are all plywood box constructed. Even the inside faceplate. I've seen a couple manufacturers try to save every single corner they could. They eliminated this piece right here, screwed the faceplate of the door longitudinally into a sheet of plywood, and it splits. That's just not what plywood's made to do, and it didn't work out very well for them, but they still do it that way today. I don't name names because that's not what I'm about, because I'm not a politician, but I do want you to understand the different type of stuff that's out there, and I'm giving you this information so that you are educated and know how to shop for something that you're going to enjoy and will take care of your family. Larger folding entry handle here, so when you're coming and going, you have easier grab, and it's another one of those things you can't see from a two-dimensional video, but this has a wider entry door, like a big high-end fifth wheel. That's a really cool thing you don't normally find in this class, and those are the little details that separate this from so many other brands. And again, it's the details that separate the J-Flight and make it the #1 seller. All of our lights, you see we have all the lights just on one big switch, and it takes it from dead to alive in here instantaneously when you kick those on. This is called the Shadow Decor. It's a very beautiful looking dark leatherette, very rich looking, and you'll find it in the White Hawks and the J-Flights. You know, there's a good synergy there between those. Your White Hawks are very much a J-Flight ultralight if you think of it that way. But it's one of the more popular ones in bunkhouses because darker materials and leatherette materials, they hold up better to kids bouncing around and just being rough on it. But again, keep in mind, if you don't like this, I don't blame you, it's all subjective. We will probably have this model in stock in different colors, like maybe coffee, which is a light brown cloth instead of a darkish leatherette. We've upgraded this to a full-on tri-fold memory foam hide-a-bed. No inner spring, no air bed, not going to go flat, easy to set up, lightweight, comfortable, all kinds of good stuff. The carpeting they're using in J-Flight is Shaw brand carpeting. You probably heard that name from your home. Again, with that thermal package, you can lift up the slide out and you can see that astrofoil insulation. If that wasn't there, this slide out would only have about an R2 resistance factor, which is next to nothing. The higher the R factor, the better. So obviously 2 is not much. Considering the roof of this with the insulation bundle we have in here is, I don't know, like 28 or some goofy number like that by the time you put the big insulation package in there. U-dinette here, I didn't take I left this table down. Sometimes I like to put them up, sometimes I put them down so people get to see. If you want to turn your dinette into a sleeper, all you do, you put the tabletop down, and you pull down a couple of your cushions, and they kind of become your base bed. And that's about all there is to it right here. And you can configure the big cushions and little cushions whichever way you want. You don't need the corner cushions to make it. And there you go. You can convert your U-dinette that quickly and easily into a bed that's about 7 foot long. So a big tall guy like me, I can actually sleep on that thing, no problem. And you can sleep 2 people on here. Both sides of your dinette have these cool little slide out totes, and it doesn't seem like much, but again, I'm telling you, it's something you're going to use every day. And if you've got a whole gaggle of kids sitting at the dining table, which in a bunkhouse you very well may at any given point in time, it's nice that they don't have to get up and you don't have to shoo them away from the table just to get down here. We'll come back to the kitchen in just a moment here. Right in the hallway space here between the bathroom and the living room, we have a giant linen cabinet, and you can use that as pantry space, linens, whatever. And it's directly across from the bathroom, so it's an easy place to keep your towels. We have a nicer porcelain stool, foot flush, again like a higher end coach, but in a family class travel trailer, the #1 family class travel trailer at that. Central air and heat in every area of the coach. We do have shower surround paneling here so that you don't water damage your own walls. And J-Flights are taller. A tall guy like me can actually stand in the shower without my head in the bubble. Now, do you remember how I said keep in the back of your mind that integrated A-frame? That's how they do it. This is 81 inches tall inside instead of 78. It's not because the camper's taller. It's because the floor is lower with that integrated A-frame. That also means your center of gravity for towing is lower. So I have taller cabinets, taller shower, more headspace in my bunks. I can have a taller slide out because the walls are taller. It's a cascade effect. It all adds up. A leads to B to C, and knee bone to leg bone, and every other in between, I suppose. So, giant double slide rear bunkhouse back here, and I'll give you a quick panoramic view before I point out a couple things. But a couple neat things is every little bunk space has its own light. Every bunk space has its own outlets. Every bunk space has its own little kitty cargo net, so you can keep, the kids' phones or tablets or whatever. Their own super special private little treasures can be tucked away in their own little corner of the world. Other than this lower bunk, because remember that down here there is an outside kitchen, so this is a little bit of an exception to the next part, but your other 3 bunks have a ventilating window. Not just a window, but ventilating. All of your bunks are Denver Mattress bunks here. The bunk mats are 50% thicker and just better quality than anything I know of anybody else using, really. And if you look under it, you see plywood. You don't see Luan or you don't see OSB. You see real wood. Now, Jayco figured out to get their outside kitchen and maintain all 4 bunks back here, you make the bottom bunk fold up. So this bottom bunk is on a hinge. You see that little bracket right there, just locks against the wall when you're not using it here. I'll close one of these cabinets and I'll show you. All you do is just lift it right up, and you actually have a little toy chest or shoe garage down here, and then it brackets right against the wall. And then, ta-da, you have an extra bunk. This is also a good step to get up there. When it is flipped up, you have access to the bottom drawer there, because I've seen some people not realize that flips up, and they're like, well, you can't get to that drawer, smart guy. And, you're right, when the bunk's down, you can't. But it's not always... I'd rather have difficult to use storage than no storage every day of the week. This is a table that folds up and down. There's a little leg that folds right down on it, and it's actually magnetically latched down, so it does not bounce around in transit. That's new this year. Again, supreme attention to detail. This wall's pre-prepped to put a flat screen against the wall. You've got all your TV hookups here. I actually know of one family, they were an Army family, so they got transitioned around a lot, and Mom did homeschooling right here in the back of their camper. This is their bedroom and their classroom. Pretty cool. This bunk up here flips up during the day, so you can convert this from a bunkhouse to a second living room, in a sense, or an extended living room on a rainy day like it has been today. Although the Lord doth, provide me with mercy currently and gave me 5 minutes without rain, which, thank you. The J-Cube convertible little futon sofa here, something Jayco came up with, and oh my gosh, is it copied left and right, upside down and inside out right now. They dressed theirs up a little nicely with a better material. I really love the way theirs looks, and again, you can convert this into 2 single beds, into a king, into a lounge, sofa, whatever you want. It can be anything you want, anytime you want, and that's why I like it. I'm going to kill these, conserve a little power, bear with me. This is another cool thing, is that, if one person wants to read a book, they can without bugging everybody else, because you have individual little lights. Oh, by the way, Mom and Dad, you have a privacy room and a sanity room, because you can just shut that door. And it's nicely bracketed in place, so bouncing down the road, it doesn't fall out at you. Moving forward, what did oh, kitchen. I said we come back to the kitchen. Oh, by the way, a lot of times we will upgrade to a 15,000 air instead of a 13.5. Bigger AC plus the thermal package we put in here means pretty good hot and cold weather ratings. I don't have an actual temperature rating I can give you because they don't standard build it this way, so it's difficult for them to do it. That being said, unless there's ice, freezing on the lake outside, you're probably fine. The Skylight's part of the Elite package. It gives us a lot of ambient light in here, and there is a little sunshade on that, so you can close it if you don't want to be an ant under magnifying glass. The refrigerator is an 8 cubic foot instead of a 6. If you are lucky, other manufacturers will let you pay extra to upgrade to the size of fridge that is standard in a J-Flight. When you standardize production, you streamline your costs. So overall, that is costing you less than the upgrade from an alternative manufacturer. Remember this shit. She is a little bit taller here, so we do have a shelf there, so we have extra storage space. You have a trash can storage space down here next to 4 plywood constructed ball bearing glide drawers. Every year I see statistics that say these are rated from 50 to 75 pounds. I guess it just really depends on where you're putting the weight and how you're distributing it, because I can't really see a difference, and it's possible there's an interior difference, but who knows. Your sprayer here in the kitchen is a kitchen sprayer faucet, another one of those things I think in the Elite package. You see outlets on both sides of the cross breeze kitchen window here, so you can actually run some appliances like a toaster or a coffee maker. This little bracket right here would normally hold a little 3 to 5 function wireless remote control, depending on the equipment found on the RV you're looking at. It can handle things like your power awning, slide outs, patio lights, things like that. Very cool. You see that we do have sliding pocket doors on both sides of the bed, not just curtains, not an accordion door, a real pocket door, just like the bunkhouse. TV does spin around, so that can face either. Although I left this turned around because I often forget to show people, they actually finish off the back side of the TV enclosure in a J-Flight. So if you're sitting in the bedroom during the day, or if you have this flipped around, it gives you the appearance of something a little bit bigger. It makes it feel more open in here. It might cost a couple cents extra with a mirror, but it's nicer. You won't need to bring electronics because they are all built in. Bluetooth enabled DVD, CD player, inside outside speakers, all kinds of good stuff going on. Big DVD shelf down here, and a shoe garage. Have you ever gone camping in a bunkhouse? Is there a big pile of shoes by the door? How did I know that? Because everybody who camps in a bunkhouse has a big pile of shoes by the door, with the exception of one family who called to prove me wrong because they tell me that they make their kids take their shoes off outside of the camper. Thank you, one family, for proving me wrong. My wife does a fantastic job of that, and every now and then I need to be put back in my place. I love my wife. I'll never do better. Pillowtop Denver mattress right here. This is one of the nicest mattresses you're going to find, not just in this class of travel trailer, but just in the RV business in general. Anywhere you see Jayco, you see better mattresses, and this is the same type of mattress they use up through a lot of their fifth wheels. We have LED lights on both sides of the bedroom when you walk in. A lot of brands will put one light in the middle of the bed. I've got long arms. I can reach that, but I am unusual. Most campers are shorter than me, so they put a light on each side of the bedroom right when you walk in. They also have a light under each side of the bed to get illumination. Not only do you have residential outlets on both sides of the bed with a big open space for things like, laptop charging if you want to. This side also has your additional mobile cell phone and tablet type plugs, and this makes the perfect little CPAP stand over here. There's more things I haven't really dug into, but I mean, I've covered a lot here. We're going on 19 minutes. I think I've spoken enough, so give us a call. 800-256-5196, Aylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care. Stay safe. Happy camping, everybody.